Not funny.
Colin.
Going rogue left and right, man.
And Mike, the Ape Man.
Oh my goodness gracious.
PTR Radio.
You ready to kick ass?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. It is another great evening, and we have got a show for you tonight. We have got a lot of entertainment news lined up already. I've been busy searching the interwebs for anything that is entertainment, movie, television, streaming related. So that we can, as Mr. Miyagi said, focus on your son. So that is what we are attempting to do, but we're still going to be us. So don't forget, you can get in touch with the show at PTR Radio on your favorite social media channels. We will do our best to keep an eye on those and to call them out whenever we see them. Thanks to Elon Musk and the people over at X/Twitter/ whatever their name is this week for making life more difficult for us not to be able to check that platform. But, we do try to keep an eye on all the other ones. So, let's see here. Before we get into too much entertainment news, had a doctor's appointment this morning. Good news. I'm doing a little bit better, according to him. A1C is down. So, life is good there. Not going to lose a foot anytime soon, according to him. That's a good thing. That's all.
That's important.
That's my go-to, whenever you talk about, diabetes, as Wilford Brimley would say, you always go, okay, which foot are you going to lose first, left or right?
Well, if you were to lose a foot, we do have a friend of the show who can help you navigate the world through, getting used to only having one leg.
Yeah, probably.
So, it's a fact.
Yeah,
our good friend Carlos.
True. Oh, I completely forgot. Yeah, friend of the show, Carlos and Isabel. He would definitely help with that. So, but yeah, so life's looking good. I was on vacation last week and got almost nothing done. So, it was as successful a vacation as any of my vacations have ever been, where I set a huge amount of things that I'm going to get this done. I had grandiose plans. Boy, I'm like, I am going to tear down one fence, put up another fence. I am going to build a gazebo. I am going to build a bridge. Literally, I'm going to build a bridge. I'm going to get all this done. I got nothing. I got a week. I got nothing else to do. I got a whole week. I can be productive. No. Most days I slept till 9 o'clock. It was kind of nice. So, yeah. I don't know. What have you guys been doing since we've been off?
Well, I was on vacation last week too. Kim and I took the 10-hour drive up to the North Woods with the dogs. First time we took all 4 dogs.
I saw that.
Up to Maine.
I saw that. I told my wife, I'm like, you want to travel like this? Really? I'm like, you want to travel like this? And she goes, well, we've only got 2. I'm like, soon to be 3. I'm like, in another couple weeks, we're going to have a 3rd. I'm like, I don't know that I want to travel like that.
They surprisingly were amazing in the car, I have to say. So I have little complaints about them in the car. But yeah, that was so. I'm realizing though that the 10-hour drive is not all it's cracked up to be anymore.
As you get older, those drives get longer, don't they?
They do.
I mean, 10 years ago, 12-hour drive, 14-hour drive, no big deal. But now, it's like, man, anything more than 6. And I'm kind of wrecked.
Yeah. See, I kind of feel the opposite, but that's just because I do love listening to audiobooks. And listening to an audiobook while driving just makes the time go faster.
I mean, I don't mind listening to stuff. I usually listen to podcasts while I'm out, but it's just like it's a long time to just sit and stare out the windshield, at the oncoming traffic, and then have to deal with road delays.
Well, that's your
and
problem.
Everything else. What are you?
Don't go the wrong way down the road, and then.
I mean, we don't all have
absolutely would.
self-driving
I would
cars.
love to travel more often if it wasn't, if I didn't have to interact with people.
Yeah.
I would love to drive. I would travel more often.
Mm-hmm.
That's plain and simple. I mean, as it is, like tomorrow, like I went back to work today, and by back to work, I mean I logged on and did my job here. Tomorrow I have to go back to the office. Tomorrow's I'm gonna be angry cranky baby the entire day. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, I was the same thing. I today was first day technically back, although I was here. I wasn't even for a whole day because I had a doctor's appointment first thing, so I didn't even log on till like an hour into my day. So I didn't even have a full day today. But it was like, okay, tomorrow, full day. Full day tomorrow. Don't want that. So yeah. Gonna be kind of a pain tomorrow.
Yeah. Now, for me, we were supposed to last weekend. We were supposed to be camping, and then that was canceled. And then, so for anybody actually watching the show, so my aunt died. Well, her funeral was yesterday. Put it that way. So that kind of blocked off last week. So we're going to try camping again this next week instead, because dang it, we're going to camp.
You're going to camp. At least you're camping in better weather now, because it's cooler now. We are. I told somebody in the elevator today. I'm like, well, we've officially hit fall. Because like Mike, I've broken out the hoodie. So yes, it's hoodie weather now. So that's where I'm at.
So that's the one thing I'm looking forward to going to the office to see how many people are wearing hoodies, because I'm very curious now what the dress code is. Nobody has officially told us what the dress code in the office is. And I've seen varying degrees of casualness up to and including cargo shorts and flip-flops.
See, we had to have a discussion at work about shorts no good no more.
Yeah. So now that's not saying that I'm going to wear the sweatshirt that I'm wearing now.
Right.
For those who.
Yes.
Okay. This is the shirt that, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you saw. I wore this shirt all running errands on Sunday. 2 trips to BJ's because it took way too long for the deli to have my order ready. 2 trips to Home Depot because, well, something was on sale. I had to make sure it was what Kim actually wanted, and I had to go back and get it before a contractor set it up. Walked around all in public wearing this. Nobody said a word to me. Nobody commented on my sweatshirt. And then driving home from Home Depot the second time, I had the epiphany. It's because I am ridiculously good looking.
That must be it, Mike. That has to be it.
Here, and that's as far as they can go. They don't get down to the shirt. It's right here. Okay. This is the moneymaker. And I'm going to embrace it.
Yeah.
I'm going to embrace it now. That's it.
So
there you go.
I'm with you. So
And damn all people on my friends list that laughed when I posted that. Your names have been put on the list. I know this.
Oh. But yeah, so let's see here. There is quite a bit of news out there. I titled this show reboots, revisits,
Sequels, remakes, regrets, and remembering.
Yeah. So I want to first, because this remembrance won't take very much, came across a list, and you know how much we love lists, Mike. I mean, we live off of lists. And
Of
this
course.
list is the best horror movie musicals. Which you know has got to be a short list, right? This cannot be a long list.
All right, listen. I didn't click on this link yet because folks, we have the white sheet. That's it's a digital collaboration where we can each put our links up here. Shaggy went shotgun on the thing, so boom, 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 boom. Links popped up. I didn't look at any of them, but looking at this thumbnail, I'm going to tell you right now. If we open this up and Anna vs. the Apocalypse is on this list, I'm going to be very upset.
Well, let's go down it, Mike. Let's just go down it because it we have to, right? I mean, you kind of have to.
Okay.
So, first up, Little Shop of Horrors, 1986.
Yeah,
Acceptable.
an actual real musical that's
Yes.
was on stage. Yes,
Real musical. Next up, Phantom of the Paradise. Never heard of it.
No idea.
From this picture, it looks more like a Caligula knockoff than a horror movie. Next up, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Also acceptable.
very horror, I guess, but acceptable. Yes.
Yep. Next up, Anna and the Apocalypse.
I will fight every single one of you people that made this list. I want names.
What else to put on the list?
I mean, there can't be that many.
Next is Nightmare Before Christmas, which is
I love this. I'm such a fan of this teeny subgenre. Well, yeah.
Subgenre. It is its genre unto and of itself.
British teen zombie Christmas musical. There's one. That's it.
that's it.
The Nightmare Before
Yes,
Christmas.
Better weather.
The Happiness of Katakuris.
I don't know why, Shaggy. I don't know why it's staying up for as long as it is. The comment shared to the screen. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Oh, it's Takashi Miike. Okay, there you go. Ichi the Killer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's it. So of those, I can say I have seen one. I watched Anna and the Apocalypse. I haven't even seen The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, well,
You've never
probably
seen
tried
Rocky
watching Nightmare
Horror.
Before Christmas.
Not all the way.
Rocky
Actually,
Horror?
no. I've seen two because I saw Little Shop of Horrors. I've seen bits and pieces of Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've never watched the whole thing through.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, I just thought it was. I thought it was hilarious that it was that Anna and the Apocalypse was on there.
Oh, it's like
And
we see how many movies are on the list.
Yeah.
I might have given Anna that movie a little bit better of a rating when we watched it if I hadn't been double hornswoggled when it was put on there. Because one, nobody told me it was British. And two, nobody told me it was a damn musical. If I had known all of that up front, I could have gotten myself in the right state of mind to watch that movie.
Yeah.
And maybe my rating would have been higher. But then I had the aneurysm when Colin gave it a Schneikes, and that just kind of put me over the edge. But
I was just trying to find it, see what we did rate it.
And speaking of days of yesteryear, there was another article about the 10 overlooked positives of rewatching Schumacher's Batman movies. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with the Schumacher Batman movies, those would be...
Good for you.
Huh?
So good for you.
I don't know. The Batman movies, I did not mind any of these. Okay, this was the George Clooney. This was, the Val Kilmer. That was the two movies there. Okay.
okay, so it was Clooney and Kilmer, but wasn't Clooney in two of them? So there were three.
Yeah, but I think that
Schumacher had
Batman
2.
Forever.
Schumacher only
And
made
Batman and Robin.
yeah, Batman
Okay,
Forever and
okay.
Batman and
Oh,
Robin.
so he didn't do the first.
Right.
He didn't do the first.
That was Tim.
Clooney.
No, that was Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So, this list gives us 10 things that were good about those movies. And I happen to agree with these. Batman Forever actually builds upon Burton's movies. So rather than throwing everything away that was done before, it continues the story on.
Okay. Fair enough. I like that. Yeah.
Number 9, it was refreshing to see a Batman movie that isn't bleak and gritty.
Okay. Now let's just backtrack for a second here, because this is talking about it's refreshing to see. The bleak and gritty came out after these movies.
It is.
So,
this would be a reason to watch them now, right? Especially now, I think. Because when you look at the last few Batmans, I don't know, Batmanses? I don't know what the plural of Batman is. But, they got really dark. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. If you're a comic book nerd, I'm sure you want it dark and gritty and, And
the newest one is the best one.
Well,
and yes, I'm saying that about what Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne.
Is Bruce Wayne also a vampire?
Robert Pattinson.
Does this Batman have fangs?
I can't stand Robert Pattinson. Okay? He is the pivotal character in the movie Tenet that makes me go, what the hell did I just watch? I don't understand. But the Batman, as it is called, is great because it gets back to he actually just tries to figure shit out as opposed to focusing on gadgets and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I have not watched it yet, but I do need to.
So, the next one. Schumacher's movies were more comic accurate than they get credit for, is what he says.
Okay, I'll have to take the word for it.
Next one. Schumacher attracted a cast of unbelievable stars for his Batman movies. Now, there's no arguing about this. Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, they did a terrible, terrible job, but they were, recognizable actors. That's true.
I mean, next one. Schumacher actually represented the entire Bat family.
Badly.
But we did get them all.
But let just to go back for a second.
Yeah.
Saying that they brought in great cast of characters is like saying, what was that? Stewardess School was a great movie because they had great actors in it. And no, it really
Stewardess School didn't have great actors in it. Okay, Stewardess School
had
was
recognizable actors from other movies,
other B movies. Okay, Schumacher brought in
movie. It was if you're the kind of person that's going to watch Stewardess School, you've watched every B movie. You can name every movie that all of those people were in. You know, Wendy Jo Sperber is a goddess among B movies.
Yeah.
Okay,
but in this case. Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones, Uma Thurman, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and these were in their heydays. It wasn't like on the back end of their careers.
But let's be clear. Tommy Lee Jones is the worst Two-Face in the history of all Batman.
Okay, he severely overplayed it. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of people actually
obviously Uma Thurman was terrible as Poison Ivy, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. No.
Next one.
Do it. Don't you speak evil of Arnold.
Bruce Wayne is more fleshed out in Schumacher's Batman movies.
I disagree with that.
Yeah. Bruce
I
Wayne
disagree with that 100%.
They did something interesting with Bruce Wayne in the original Tim Burton movies. And then in these movies, he was just kind of there. And then in the later movies... Batman Begins and so forth. Yeah, that's when they got back to doing Bruce Wayne correctly again.
How about this one? Jim Carrey's Riddler subtly mirrors Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah, in the same way that Bozo the Clown does.
I don't know. I actually thought Jim Carrey did a pretty good job as Riddler from the 60s Riddler.
Yes, I will agree with that.
Yeah, to some
The
degree.
over-the-top kind of exaggeration. I'll agree with that. I think they have this backwards, though, because Ledger came after. So Ledger would have to mirror Jim Carrey. Go on.
It's possible.
I'm starting to get.
I think Jim
aggravated.
Carrey's Riddler would have been fine without Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face being something to play against.
Here's one.
Fair.
I don't know that you guys can argue with this one. Making family-friendly Batman movies wasn't the worst idea.
That'd be a great
hell I
idea if
can't
he'd done
argue
that.
with.
Instead, he made Batman with nipples.
He could listen. Exactly. Very well. Very, very well put. But family-friendly Batman is the Lego movie.
Well, it could be the Lego movie, but in this case, you could actually take your kids to see these Batman movies. Could you take your kids to see The Batman? I mean, if you were a terrible parent, yes, you
I haven't
could.
seen it
but,
yet to
you
be
know.
able to answer that question. I can say I was a little kid. Well, I have no idea how old I was. But anyway, I did go to the movie theater to see the original Tim Burton Batman. And I was fine.
Yeah. But, I mean, and I would say even the Tim Burton ones were somewhat family-friendly, even though the Penguin was a bit weird.
The second with the Penguin, that was a bit much. I'm just saying S&M Batman, which is what Schumacher gave us, is not family-friendly.
But,
I agree.
you know, Schumacher's earnest response to criticism makes his Batman movies better. In response to backlash over Batman and Robin, director Joel Schumacher eventually apologized to those who were disappointed by his Batman movies, and it actually makes them seem better in retrospect. In an interview with Vice, he offered a sincere apology for how the film was received and expressed that his intention was simply to make a fun film that people would enjoy.
But how does that make it better?
Well, I think what they're trying to say is, okay, he knows he owns up to how he screwed it up.
Yeah.
No. Well, no, it makes him better, but it doesn't make the movie better.
Well, no. And here their number one reason is Schumacher perfectly explained how he reinstated Batman's no-kill rule.
And yet Two-Face still died.
Of his own doing, though, he went after the coins. Batman didn't kill him. He just threw a bunch of coins in the air.
When did Batman kill anybody in the first two movies? It must have happened if they're talking about it, but I don't remember.
Yeah. But in here, he talks about how Schumacher said it with just a simple line of dialogue when he's mentoring Robin on the nature of revenge, and he explains from experience that killing and revenge only further fuel the anger. So, I mean,
okay, I'm remembering now. They're talking about like when Batman sent his car in and then dropped the bomb to blow up the building and stuff. I guess they just never really covered that he was killing people. So okay,
yeah. So, but
that is a true fact that is something that Batman has always been known for, is Batman doesn't kill. So, of these 10 things, I would say that one is completely true.
You like one of them, okay? I don't know. Like I said, I'm in the minority. I also like the Green Lantern movie. So,
Now, what the fact is that the best Batman is the original Batman, the animated series.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Adam West for a second.
No. The Batman, the animated series is the best Batman. And the best Joker. And the best. Everything's the best.
Okay. I watched The Flash.
The movie.
Under duress, under protest, if you will.
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to watch it, but there was nothing else to watch. It called to me, and I have to say that I really enjoyed Michael Keaton reprising his role.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
If nothing else, I also loved that at one point, potential spoiler alert, Loved at one point. Nicolas Cage shows up as Superman. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Didn't if they would have Grant Gustin in it, it would have been even better. But you know.
Agreed.
All right.
Okay, speaking of Superman, can we agree that Christopher Reeve is still the best movie Superman?
I don't know that I can agree to that.
Well, who would you say is any better?
Let's see here.
All right. So here's
So
my
you had-
issue with this whole debate.
You had Henry Cavill, Christopher Reeve, Nicolas Cage, Tyler Hoechlin was in played him in Supergirl, Brandon Ruth, Tom Welling, Dean Cain, Matt Balmer, Jack Quaid.
But see, you're going into TV. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
on the big screen. All right. So here's my issue. True to the comics, I would agree with you. From what I know about the comics.
Yeah, and sticking to
is looking
just
back.
the original.
The problem I have looking back at the Superman movies with Christopher Reeve, they
went
were all
downhill.
pretty stupid.
Yeah. No, I think you keep the Superman 1 and Superman 2, especially the Donner cut. You start getting into Richard Pryor showing up and stuff. It's like, no, just stop. Just don't go there.
I mean, I like the look of Henry Cavill in the outfit more so than I like Christopher Reeve's look.
Okay, but see, I'm not going by look only because technology has changed. All right, Henry Cavill's there's CGI effects happening there.
Yeah, I mean,
Even the
I get that.
materials
I get that,
right?
but
I don't. Suddenly, I feel like we're in an episode of Big Bang Theory. I don't know. We're debating who the best Superman is. Might as well. Okay, all right. If I concede that, Christopher Reeve was the best Superman, will you agree that Edward Norton was the best Hulk? / Bruce Banner?
Oh,
I don't know. I really
no. I would let anybody else be Superman before I did that, just because I know that he did. Anyway, no. The current Hulk is definitely the best Hulk.
he's
Mark
definitely
Ruffalo? No.
Yes, Mark Ruffalo is the best Hulk.
he's the
Thank you
best
for-
Bruce Banner for sure.
No.
Yes.
He's
No.
all right. This is like who's the
No,
best
disagree.
Bond?
Completely disagree. Oh, you're
best
really going to
Bond.
ask that question on this show?
Oh, my wife hates Sean Connery's Bond. She goes, no, never.
What? Banned from Butterstown forever.
No, as far as that goes, I will say by the end, it's much, much, much closer between Sean Connery and Daniel Craig than I ever thought it was going to be. But the two of them are definitely far,
fun
far
fact.
beyond everybody else.
I have never watched a Daniel Craig James Bond movie.
I watched the
You've
first
not? Oh.
one, and that's it. Well, pretty soon you can watch an Idris Elba one, or a woman play it. I don't know. That'll be the next one. Yeah.
They already had a woman who was 007. She was James Bond, but he'd retired, so she had the number. That was the thing they pulled there. Mike, I highly recommend them, especially the first one, because Casino Royale, the first one, is amazing. Everything after that, up to this last one, which was also amazing, everything in between was okay. But the first one and the last one, wonderful. Especially Casino Royale.
Well, you'll have to watch them streaming, though, because pretty soon you won't be able to go to your local Best Buy and pick them up on DVD or even Blu-ray. Because according to another article we've got, Best Buy is going to exit the physical media business as soon as the end of the first quarter in 2024, which means it really will be the end of physical media for, for television and movies. I mean, we are getting to that
so
point.
who's left? Is
Amazon.
But
Target and Walmart are still selling physical media. I haven't seen any kind of announcement from them.
I think that section is slowly fading into, smaller and smaller, though.
Well, that's a given anywhere. Like, I remember you used to walk in and that the
Now
DVD section would be the biggest section.
Now the DVD section is just a bin in the middle of the aisle that's like 3 for $10, and you can get one DVD that has all 6 Tremors movies on it, or all of the Clumps collection, or a Medea Christmas special.
So, what I think downloading and I'm not going to say streaming, all right? I think there's still going to be some kind of option to download, or maybe eventually there's going to be some kind of like maybe a flash drive where you buy a flash drive that has all
like
your movies on it,
like a red box where you take your thumb drive and then you just plug it in and you order your movie and they put it right on the thumb drive.
Actually, that's pretty genius. If you think about it, that would be great for like resorts or like places up by my father-in-law where internet is sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be able to go.
It's a new version of the VHS rental store.
Well, no, I'm sure there's you could do some kind of DRM on it that once you play it.
Well, I mean, it's it'd be no different
bit kind of thing.
Be no different than like Amazon or any of the others where you basically rent a movie for 24 hours, and then the download's no good anymore. So some digital key on it where it's no good after 24 hours or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, that would be pretty cool, but I don't think. Here's the thing: like DVDs and Blu-ray. I'm actually glad to kind of see them go away, only because the hardware is becoming more and more scarce. People aren't buying Blu-ray players anymore.
Well, no, but I mean, they're only like $30, so it's not like they're super expensive.
But the only reason to buy it is if you get a full 4K Blu-ray, because that's the only thing you can still get a Blu-ray, a 4K HD Blu-ray. And get higher quality that you can stream because it just has that much extra data on it. But those machines cost too much.
Yeah.
Which is just making it die even more. They want you to pay $250, $300 for a full 4K Blu-ray player. You're like, but what's different for that player and then the $30 one that doesn't have 4K? Nothing.
I was listening to a little bit behind on another show, and they were talking about when Oppenheimer came out and them playing it on 70 millimeter IMAX. And they were saying that the effective resolution on that film was 18K.
Yeah.
I mean, and there were only like, 30 or 40 places in the country that could even play that, the size platter and the resolution for that. So, I mean, when are we getting that?
No, for regular film, I think 8K is the limit. IMAX they rotate that sideways, so it's more than one. Then so that's why it gets up to 16. It's basically 2/8. But 8K is the limit. That's basically what they've been scanning at. So they usually scan at 8K nowadays, and then they downgrade that to 4K for the Blu-ray.
Yeah. Well, what's coming out in 4K. Oh, go ahead.
So Cisco's writing in, everyone with a console has Blu-ray. Well, here's the other thing. Not anymore, because the newer ones aren't coming with the disc drive.
Well, no, and it used to be. That did used to be the case, though, and it also used to be the case of, hey, you know what, I want to stream Netflix or I want to stream whatever, and so I'll just buy a DVD player because they've got the streaming software built into them, right? So like,
and now that's moved to the
now
TV.
it's all built into the TV.
Even look at computers and laptops today. Laptops don't come with optical drives.
No, you're frowned upon if you buy a PC that has any ports in any drive bays in the front for you to use. Try finding a computer case that has a 5 1/4 bay on the front that you can put an optical drive in. You're looked at like a plebe.
Went up to Kenny's last year, and I took out my laptop. He's like, "Oh, do you want to? Can you rip these pictures to a Blu-ray or a DVD for me to get so I can give them to my buddy?" I was like, "Sure." And I whipped out a USB DVD burner. He's like, "What's that?" I said, "Well, the laptop don't come with a DVD player anymore." What the fuck? Really? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
the laptops that they're giving out at like laptops don't have LAN ports anymore.
No, they barely have USB ports. Some of them. So
That's because they have Wi-Fi 6E. That's faster than the old Ethernet ports are. So it's like getting to the point of why bother.
Yeah, if the network that you're connecting to is 6E,
and if you're close enough to get that actual speed and ideal conditions and all the other stuff, so I'll take a wire any day. It's good old and it's reliable.
No. Here's what I did. Okay, so the big TV upstairs. It's an LG OLED. Okay, so I connected it up 6E to the network. Well, the stupid thing has a bug in it, and when you're watching stuff that uses too much bandwidth, it crashes.
Yeah.
So the TV's still working, but the network connection crashes, and you have to turn the entire TV off to get it to reboot to get the Wi-Fi going.
My wife's TV had wireless, and it would just stop working all of a sudden, and so you had to hard power cycle the stupid television to get it to pick the Wi-Fi back up again. And it's like I finally just ended up replacing the TV. Why? Because the Wi-Fi was broken. What?
So what I ended up doing is I took one of my Eero devices, one of my hub things that we got. So I have one that's just underneath the TV, and I have an Ethernet cable going up to the TV. So it's plugged in and wired into a device, which then does 6E through the rest of the house.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, some things should have wired. Just period, end of story. Because
they just need to make things work.
I want reliable. But we were talking about
Kim and I were joking about, or we talk about moving all the time. And one of the things that I have as a requirement is if we have someplace built adjacent to the power outlets in the rooms will be Ethernet ports, so that I can wire up my house if I want to.
At this point, you might as well just run fiber.
Yeah, I was going to say just run fiber.
Wow.
But so
run everything.
Yep.
The problem is finding a contractor that will actually run fiber from. That's going to be the issue.
Yeah.
But no, just get the best cable you can and run it. And even if you don't use it as Ethernet, maybe you run it. You can use HDMI for it. It doesn't matter. But yes, if you're building a house, just more copper are good.
Well, or at the very least, just run some conduit so that then you can run whatever you want.
Yes.
Fair point. Yes.
Yeah. We were talking about 18K, 8K. Well, a live action movie is getting a re-release in glorious 4K for the 30th anniversary, and that is Super Mario the movie. The live action with good old John Leguizamo.
I'm right there with you,
and
Colin.
Bob
Like,
Hoskins.
This is this is a meme in and of itself. It's like nobody. Absolutely nobody. Not a single anybody in the existence of everybody movie studio. Here comes the Mario Brothers movie in 4K upgrade. Who the hell needs to see John Leguizamo in 4K
Yes.
and Dennis Hopper looking like half a lizard in 4K?
Yes, I do. I want to. I
No.
wanted to get it. Yes.
No. Absolutely not.
Well, I would like to see John Leguizamo in 4K, but that'd have to be in Spawn, not Mario Brothers.
Just to show,
Fair enough.
for those of you who aren't familiar with this movie, there's a reason why. It's because, one, it was made in 1993, and two, it made $38.9 million on a budget of $40 million. So it didn't even make back its money, but we're going to re-release it in glorious 4K, and don't think it's going to be cheap. They're going to sell them for $100 a copy.
What?
Yes.
That's because it's going to be the last
Wait,
4K
I think
DVD ever.
Are they going to pay us $100 to take it?
No, it's going to
Because-
come. The massive box set offers 4K Ultra HD editions of the movie, complete with 3 discs, 2 Blu-rays, behind-the-scene books, film cell, posters, stickers, art cards, new audio commentary. Oh, Colin, you love audio commentary. And
Movies I like.
newly restored deleted scenes and trailers. Due
Okay,
out.
This
Now,
is the
it does come
movie-
with
Go ahead.
it comes with a film
Go
cell,
ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
right?
Yeah.
So that drives up the value, the collector's value a little bit. There's going to be a limited edition because there's only so much film.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think that you could actually do. Right? Now, that being said, why? We are damn near going into a recession. Why are you spending money upscaling this crap?
So for people who are not aware, this is the movie that made everybody say video game movies are terrible. Because this is it. This is the first one, and it was terrible.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is the view of the Mario Brothers. What are you talking about? This is what they're supposed to look like.
Actually, the two
Why
brothers
be a
are
picture
the
of-
least bad part of the entire movie. Bowser being a guy who decides to turn into a dinosaur.
Well,
Or a
right,
dinosaur.
can we just-
I
can we just
forget
stop-
exactly what the thing was.
Let's just stop for 1 second.
Yeah.
Mario and Luigi, Italians.
Mm-hmm.
Leguizamo. I didn't think he was Italian. Sure
No.
as hell don't play Italian in his stand-up. Which leads me to beg the question: where is the outrage from the Italian Americans?
This was 93. We didn't have outrage yet. We hadn't heard the word
but-
canceled.
It should be canceled and not re-released in 4K. Are they doing this to try and are they doing this instead of a Kickstarter to release the next Nintendo console?
No, because Nintendo has no problems. What it is, I bet you what it is the animated Super Mario Brothers movie from last year or earlier this year. Anyway, that did so well. They're like, hey, maybe we'll fool people into thinking
Maybe we
this was
can
good too.
Maybe we can finally make our budget back. Is that what you're saying? Is maybe we'll get $1 million? We'll finally break even?
Do you realize if they do that, then what they're doing is they're going to sabotage any future animated Mario Brothers sequel, because people are going to be like, you owe us. This better come with free tickets to the next animated movie, because you're going to have to bribe people to go back and you're going to earn their trust back. This would go on a Kill It With Fire if we were to review it these days.
Really?
I absolutely would go and Kill It With Fire.
Oh, all right. It is almost quarter till, and we have a movie to review for this evening. So this evening's movie is, it's R.I.P.D. 2, which, is it's R.I.P.D. 2 Rise of the Damned, starring Jeffrey Donovan, which I knew he was familiar. So he has been in other things.
Burn Notice.
Burn Notice.
Burn Notice is what he's most notably
Yeah.
been in.
So, so who wants to go first? Colin?
Well,
Sure, I'll
I'm
go
gonna. I'm just gonna tell you guys. I didn't actually take notes on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be winging it because part of me was thinking, well, maybe since we're only doing one movie, we may just wind up doing this as a debate discussion kind of thing. But that was just the thought that I had. So
Okay.
and I didn't share that ahead of time. So I'm sorry I was bringing that to you on the air.
Okay. So, I mean, we could do it that way. That's fine with me. I don't care. So,
I have an idea. Let's talk after,
okay.
and
All right.
maybe we'll come up with a new concept for the future.
Okay. So, so Colin, we'll let you start off. R.I.P.D. 2, what'd you think?
Okay, R.I.P.D. 2. So, I think I'm the only one of the three of us, I think, who actually had read the. Just a second. This is bugging me. There we go. Okay. So I think I'm the only one who's actually read the original comic book that these movies were based off of. And so I read the movie, the comic book first, and then they announced R.I.P.D. the original one. And so the original one was okay. It was not it. What they wanted to do was do another Men in Black, but the people who made the movie didn't know how to do that. They should have just got Barry Sonnenfeld and said, "Hey, do it again." But anyway, that was 2013. So here around 2022, they decide for some weird reason to make a sequel. I actually had to look up to see, was this originally done as a TV pilot? Because it seems TV pilot quality. It's Jeffrey Donovan, who was the lead character in Burn Notice. He's probably the only actor you'll know. There's a couple other actors. Okay. Acting in this movie is pretty good. I'll just say I didn't have any problem actually with the acting in this movie. I think they were actually having some fun. It was a bit campy in some places. And yeah, that's fine. As far as acting goes, great. Storyline. This is a prequel to the R.I.P.D. original movie with the original Jeff Bridges character and how he originally gets killed. Being a prequel, though, they seem to be doing a lot of stuff with him, like with his dead wife and stuff, that doesn't really quite jive with what was in the original R.I.P.D. movie, which seems kind of weird to me. Anyway, that's why I was like, is this movie supposed to be a pilot? Because they're making slight changes to the characters that are kind of puzzling. Anyway, it's Roy Cephas and his partner Joan of Arc in the Old West, trying to keep a demon from escaping from hell and replacing all of the living people with deados. The original concept, I think, was deados were just dead people who escaped and refused to go either to hell or heaven. I don't remember them actually taking over the bodies of the living. That didn't seem to. I don't remember that being the original concept. But that's what they're doing. They're taking over bodies, trying to dig themselves into hell, so that they can release all the rest of the dead people from hell to take over here, I guess. But all that being said, the costumes in this movie are just absolutely terrible. So it starts off with Jeffrey Donovan being, it's like you can't even recognize him when he first shows up. But then after he's dead and comes back to Earth, he turns into like, I don't know, he's wearing this weird cape thing. It's like they found I'm not sure. It's okay. It kind of looks like they went to the Hunger Games to have them get him costumed so he could come back, and you just look at him going, "Are you? Is it? Are you eating an opera tonight? What is going on?" It's just I don't I didn't understand that, and the rest of the movie just kind of continues along very very cheap sets, super cheap. It's like sometimes they look like they're like at a Six Flags, and we're using the standing Six Flags buildings I just anyway. I'm going to give this movie a verb. Yeah, I'm going to give it a verb. It's you're not going to hurt yourself watching this movie, but you're not going to want to watch it again.
All right. I'll go next here real quick. So, so yeah, they, as Colin said, they deviated from the primary storyline at least a dozen times. So the thing with the origin of Deados, the idea of a Deado popping, and what that looked like was completely different. But here's my question. All right. Roy Cephas died. And this is supposed to be young Roy Cephas that died, or younger Roy Cephas that died. And we know what Roy Cephas looks like in R.I.P.D. How do dead people age? You know, how did he grow his beard out and get older? He's already dead. He not going to age. So explain that to me. I mean, if he was going to rot, that'd be different. But he should look exactly the same. Now, I understand that wasn't going to happen, but it just bothered me. You know, this movie, while mildly time-consuming, I won't even say entertaining, mildly time-consuming, had a lot of issues with continuity, and just wasn't something that I would say would be great. If you like westerns, you'll hate this movie. If you like action movies, probably won't like this movie. If you liked R.I.P.D., there's no Ryan Reynolds in this movie. Let's put it that way. All right, there's no one even trying to be Ryan Reynolds in this movie. It fails miserably at that. So I, like Colin, will also give this movie a verb. It was it took up time in my day. That's its best characteristic for me. So, all right, Mike.
Look, it took me a little while to realize that this was a prequel sequel, if you will. This was more of an origin story of Roy from the original movie, compared to instead of actually being a sequel, right? So once I got past that, I said, all right, this isn't that bad. But then there were little things about this that really started to bother me. And to Shaggy's point, like the actors just, okay, so we find out his partner is Joan of Arc. I don't know. To Shaggy's point, how did you get from this character? So once I figured out it was a prequel, how do you get from this character to Jeff Bridges' character? How did that happen? Or like, the only thing I can think of is, they do age in the afterlife, but you don't die. So how old do you actually get? Or is this just how everyone else sees you? Like, there are movies out there that are basically sequels that nobody ever asked for. There are prequels that no one ever asked for. This is both. And the fact that there are no characters other than in name only that tie this to the first one, this is pretty much along the same lines as like Butterfly Effect 2, where it's a similar plot, but there's no connection to the first other than, you know, similar chain of events. Same thing keeps happening. I'm bouncing back and forth between giving this a puke or a kill it with fire, because, like I said, this is one of those movies that I really like. Who thought it was a good idea to make this? Like, why did we need this?
Yeah.
This at one point I was actually thinking towards the end, like during the wedding scene, I'm thinking to myself, if Hallmark made a sequel to R.I.P.D., it would be this movie, because they got to have the little touching. Father is there to see his little girl get married, and I'll go with a verb. I'll go with the majority on this one. But don't watch it. Go watch the original.
Yeah, to your point, it's kind of like it's kind of like Speed Zone. You know, the wannabe Cannonball Run 3 that just didn't work no matter how hard they tried.
Yeah,
Let me just say, I think this movie could have been infinitely better if they just had the two black women they had playing the what they were looking like to everybody else. They should just had them be the entire movie and not bother showing the other. That would have been much more hilarious, watching them jump around doing all the stunts.
well, you know, and that's a good point. Like in R.I.P.D., they showed the avatars a lot more.
Yeah. They played off of them a whole lot more.
Yeah. They did a little bit here, but I think, like I said, I would rather just have the avatars. They're much more interesting to watch.
Well, and that was another thing too. Like, okay, all right. I don't know how to put it without coming off bad, but did it feel a little woke that they had to make them the avatars two black women?
Black women in old times.
Did that feel like forced in any way, shape, or form?
You
felt
mean-
like
It was
there could have
very,
been
it was very.
a
They
different
even made
choice.
fun of it being forced. I'm just saying to be a lot
yeah.
more funny.
I
Okay.
agree.
Okay, now I have I have a request for the next movie,
Oh,
because I don't think we've chosen the next movie yet, have we?
no, we
No.
haven't. This is.
I have a timely request, somewhat timely request, because it's a fairly new release out on Netflix. The Machine with Bert Kreischer.
Wait. Hold on.
It is it is based off of Bert's stand-up act.
Oh yeah, I remember all the ads for that thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Starring Mark Hamill and Bert Kreischer.
All right. I know his stand-up routine. I had to go look to make sure he's not shirtless through this entire friggin' movie, because I'd have been vetoing real quick.
There's Mark Hamill in it, so I'm in.
Okay.
I've been planning to watch
That's-
it at some point.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm down.
So we will review The Machine for the next show. Hey, Mike, it is slapstick, irreverent comedy. So, you know, it is up the alley that we normally run. And you know, it should be an interesting watch. So so that will be for our next show.
Do you realize, according to the sheet, as of this show, we have rated like over 250 movies?
Yes. I know. We are
Actually, we're at 284 movies.
Right, and there's probably at least another 50 that we have not put on the sheet. I have to.
Yeah.
I have a whole stack of paper around here somewhere that has more movies that we have reviewed. So, and for those of you that are curious, before we end the show tonight, there will be a new website coming. I have been working on it. It is going to be coming out shortly. The last piece that I'm working on putting on it is the movie reviews. So you will be able to look up and see what the movie reviews are. And, then you'll be able to check out and see what our thoughts on movies are. And hopefully be able to chime in with your own thoughts. My plan was to be able to have a spot where not only can they read our reviews, but they can leave their own as well. So that's the hope. It seems like right now it's having a problem, but because I was going to show a preview of it, but that's the way that it works when you're in the middle of something.
Yeah, I was going to mention that to you, that I was able to see it when you sent the original link, but when I went to check it this afternoon, I was like, I was getting a 500 error.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that and see what the hell is going on. So, so we will take a look at that, and hopefully, maybe by the next show, we will even have that up and going and ready for everybody. But yeah, so look forward to that coming very soon. And with that, then I believe we are done for the evening. So, folks, thank you so much for tuning in, checking out the show. We hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have, please make sure to follow the show. Go to ptrradio.com for all the information about the show, how to get in touch with us, how to, how to just see everything that's going on in our lives, as well as, keep in touch at PTR Radio on your favorite social media account. And Mike, you got any events coming up anytime soon that people need to be aware of?
Before the next show, I don't know. I gotta look at the calendar real quick. I don't think before the next show. After the next show, I will be doing my second date of my residency at the elementary school for their Halloween party. Ooh. Halloween Boo Bash, whatever we're calling it. But that's the only thing I've got on my calendar right now.
All right. I don't have anything. I was helping veterans over the weekend. I forgot to advertise that, but that's done now. I'll let everybody know when the next opportunity is for that, as well as any trivia nights that are going to be coming up here. Hopefully that'll be shortly. But I'll let everybody know on the next show when we're looking at that.
Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. That will be before the next show, so I will have stories.
Great. Love stories. So, all right, folks. That's all that we have for tonight. Thank you again for tuning in. Don't forget to tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everybody that you know. Tune in PTR Radio. Go to ptrradio.com or check us out at PTR Radio on your favorite social media channels. Thanks so much, and we will check you out next time, which, by the way, next time is going to be on the 30th. So 30th will be our next show as of right now. So thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. See everybody later. I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I'm Mike the 8 Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.